What's going on, guys? It is the SMT from the SMT YouTube channel. Thanks for coming on back to watch this edition of the channel. And if you are new, this is your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload from the SMT. In today's video, we're going to look at a story that's coming out. Internal documents are coming out fast and furious from the T-Mobile and Sprint merger. A lot of the documents circulate around the business operations and dealings that have been going on behind closed doors privately amongst companies like T-Mobile, Sprint, and Dish. And of course, these are the three big companies involved in the merger. So the internal documents that are being revealed and exposed are specifically designed to be private. A lot of the companies involved did not want them becoming external and available for public viewing. But because of the merger's public nature and the transparency required in the trial, they have come to light. A lot of it gives us insight on the business dealings of companies like Sprint, T-Mobile, and Dish. And one of the documents we're going to highlight today was created by McKinsey & Company, a management company that was created and designed specifically for T-Mobile and Deutsche Telekom executives and board members. One item on the highlights of this document was that Dish was potentially going to be unsuccessful as a wireless operator based on an MVNO deal with T-Mobile. That's interesting because obviously, it's a prediction that McKinsey & Company is making. Clearly, they had no idea that the DOJ was going to be fighting on behalf of Dish, getting them a much better deal than initially thought. So that's one thing to consider. Another thing that they mentioned in the report or the document was that T-Mobile would see organic growth only until 2018. They have clearly exceeded that expectation and that prediction. They have experienced organic growth up until this point. No signs of it slowing down just yet. They hit over 1 million subscribers added last quarter. They have for 6 years straight. So that seems to kind of be an incorrect forecast. Another thing is they mentioned Comcast. Comcast should be a follow-up acquisition post-Sprint merger. So the first thing that McKinsey & Company wanted T-Mobile to do or recommended was get a merger with Sprint. And even upon completion of that Sprint merger, go ahead and continue to acquire another company like Comcast. Why Comcast? Well, cable operators have a lot of cash, and that would be a great acquisition for a company like T-Mobile to broaden their expansion of their networks, having that cash fluid and ready to spend on the network and other operations. Another thing to consider was, why would Sprint be the thing that, McKinsey & Company was recommending? They mentioned the market share advantage would be huge. Think about how many subscribers they would be adding. There was no mention in the report on the 2.5 gigahertz and 5G network potential. Even though that Sprint was the preferred move, they didn't really mention those things because obviously in 2015, when this market report came out or this document was made, there was no indication of 5G and what would 2.5 gigahertz be worth and valued at. So this predates all of that. So really it was just about market share, being able to compete with the big carriers like Verizon and AT&T. McKinsey did note in the report that there was only a 50% or less likelihood of a Sprint merger being approved based on regulatory issues. So that was something to consider. And again, that's kind of the way things are with mergers when they're going laterally across a market. It's not going to be well received by regulations. But of course, that has been handled. The DOJ and the FCC have cleared the merger. The merger with Comcast. The reason I think they recommended that, not just because of the cash flow from the company, but also you think about that type of merger for T-Mobile, it wouldn't incur the same scrutiny, the same questioning. Regulatory bodies wouldn't be hesitant to make that deal happen because it's a company from another market, from a totally different industry. It's more likely to be approved and less likely to be scrutinized. What McKinsey & Company advised T-Mobile at the time, they said continue with the Un-carrier program, continue acquiring spectrum assets, getting involved in spectrum auctions and investments that could help them in future network deployments and their growth. So T-Mobile has done all of those things. They've seen their network growth. They've seen their market share growth increase, all the organic growth items that we've mentioned in this video. McKinsey was pretty much spot on most of the things that they predicted and identified here. McKinsey did predict 76 million subscribers by this time in their predictions, they were actually incorrect because T-Mobile has like 84, 85 million subscribers as of this time. So they've exceeded that. I think it's interesting to see where T-Mobile's at and where they were predicted to be. I think it's also interesting to see what's kind of been on the docket for T-Mobile as options as they've navigated through the business industry. So you guys let me know what you guys think of this report. Let me know what you think of these items, which things that you thought were interesting and which things you thought were unique and different. Maybe you didn't know about them. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, so go ahead and drop me a line in the comment section below. I'd love to hear the pulse of the people and the opinions of the SMT Nation. Anyways, I want to do some quick shout-outs. Go ahead and check out the links in the description box. We got the podcast links. We got the Patreon page. We got the Sneed Tech Twitter handle. Also, at the end of this video, you'll see a screenshot for some of the items from the report. Check those things out. They're right at the end. Pause them when you want to see them. You could see some of the infographics and some of the diagrams and the things that are up there from the report. That's it for this one. If you could, please do me a solid. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Share it to your favorite social media platforms. That would be greatly appreciated, and you'll be helping the channel out tremendously. Here are those screenshots. You can also check out some other videos from the SMT. There were also some screen cards that were available throughout the duration of the video. That's it. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I am the SMT, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.